36 degrees on Saturday. I'm here at the office to take care of my children's chicken. And well, the chicken, as you can see, is not here. We had a nice home for the chicken. We had food for the chicken. We had water for the chicken and a little space that we had. Now we have no chicken. That's a crow. Yeah. I don't know where our chicken is. I'm a little torn up about the chicken. We had some good times. Roosting. Pretty sure it was going to lay an egg one day. At least we thought it was. Chicken. Sprinkles. Rest in peace, Sprinkles. Wow. Probably still alive somewhere.
We got a lot of hurdles today we got to go through. This is a fully automated gate, which means it has a call box to it. It's got a backup system. It's got what else does it have?
With the telephone entry call box, you can call forward. You're waiting somebody to come in. You can push your call forwarding code, and then the call box will automatically call your cell phone, have access to your gate, or allow FedEx or the postman access to your property.
They definitely wanted a call box. They just didn't want a remote system. So we've got to set one side where the call box is going to come down. We're going to kind of look through here now and see exactly. We're going to trench from the wire that James thinks we need to go from out to that area.
Right. Red flags are power guy.
Because you don't have gas. Is it on the other side?
It's right here.
No, that's propane. But you don't have natural gas.
No.
That's why PSE called me and said there's nothing there.
Yeah,
it's just propane. Okay.
I have a lot of natural gas, but that's another subject.
Yeah, we both do, brother. These are usually about, what, 12 inches down, 24, you think?
The buried electrical, according to code, should be 18 to 20.
Okay, so
this is a guesstimation of
right,
where the
it could be
line
2
comes.
feet within that
Correct.
line, right?
So it could be
right.
2 feet that way. Or
so
2
whenever you
feet
do locates out there at your home and they come out, you do a locate for, you want to do your own fence or whatever. Remember, when they put these lines down, it's a 2-foot barrier. Could be either or. So don't just automatically think it's directly underneath that line. They use a wand, and they've told me it can be as much as 3 feet in variance, but most time it's within 2 feet of variance. So that's very important on your locates. Now, which way do you want the plugs facing? This way?
One of the key issues for all of us today is in the house. I'll go get it. The Spanish word is jefe.
Jefe.
And that's boss.
Oh, yeah.
This is Joyce.
Hi. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, Joyce.
Good morning,
Joyce, you're on camera today. This is Joyce.
It wouldn't be the first time.
So we know we want to bring out a junction box out of here for you guys. I just want to make sure we put the plugs facing whatever way you want that box to face. I was thinking this way because you're going to put lights down here.
Yes.
So I was thinking of facing the plugs this way so it's easier to plug into instead of having to wrap it around. So the box, we want to make sure the plugs are facing this way, right?
From a profile standpoint, the motor goes like here.
It'll go on the post.
Yeah.
So it'll go closer to the road. It's actually an actuator arm that attaches to the gate. So
And it's attached to the post.
correct.
Right.
One of the things we wanted is to be able to leave it open from time to time when we're messing around down there, and we had that ability.
Correct. With
On
the
the
with the
phone
call
control.
box, you can hold it open for an hour, and then it'll automatically close. It'll momentarily open and then close, and then you can close it if it's open.
But when it's held open, there is a control on it where you can hold it open. It stays open until you
Correct.
release it.
Correct.
So this is the beginning of our full automated security gate. We got a trench wire. We got to make sure we're missing some pipes and some propane and all kinds of fun stuff. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong here. Hopefully we'll be able to trench. It'll go easy today. Everything will be clear. We'll miss all the lines and start running some line.
Oh, you have a foot over here?
I took it.
I just
It's
wondered.
mine.
Well, I opened it up and I was like, oh my God, the foot's gone. I thought Jackie just got hungry when I was away.
That's a big foot.
That's why I was
chocolate.
shocked. I lifted the box up and I was going to look at it and laugh and it was empty. And I was like, she just must have gotten hungry. That's all. I totally thought she ate the whole foot.
And you didn't tell me?
Well, why would I tell you, Jackie?
Because it was my foot.
Well, you know. Then I guess I should let you know I ate a lot of chocolate today and out of a box.
Why haven't you eaten your foot?
Well,
I mean, I think you just answered your own question with that statement. Who's going to eat a foot? of chocolate.
I've been given a lot of gifts in my life, and I'm gonna tell you that a solid chocolate foot.
Solid. It is solid
So
all the way through.
someone
This is not
paid
any hollow.
$8 to send this to us. To me.
It's a full chocolate foot.
You wonder who was the mold for the foot?
Obviously a child.
Yeah. Anyway, I've never been given a chocolate foot. That's why I've been eating it. It's very creative.
What kind of customer service do you guys offer if you have troubles, if a customer has trouble with the electric?
I would say our customer service, and Katie kind of probably explains it better, but is what we really do differently.
Our customer service is until.
Is what?
Until. Until it's absolutely perfect. Until the customer is satisfied. There isn't an end to it. It's until. We work until.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. That's a really good way to say it.
I would say, like, within the office, you know, we get mostly calls of people wanting fences, gates, all those things. But when we get a call back from a customer who says, hey, my gate is really not working, we're dropping what we're doing and we're looking up who they worked with and we're calling that person immediately. We're not just like writing it down and putting it on the, I mean, we want to address it right away, just because when someone's put all that money and time into getting something built, we want it functioning. We don't want them to not be able to get their dog safely out into the yard or the kids escaping or any of those things. So when someone calls back with an issue, we want to go and take care of it right away.
There's a real sense of ownership overall. I think that's part of it too. I don't see Ron and Darren and Aaron ever feeling like, oh shoot, I'm home for the day. There's
Or
no
that
way.
was too long ago. No, there's no such
They
thing.
really are. They are genuinely concerned if there's an issue and if there's something that needs to be dealt with. They really do see it as their own fence or their own yard. They don't seem put out by the fact that you have that you need them. I would say that's definitely something that we do differently. We just got our foot in the door.
The Johnsons wanted an automatic gate. You can have several styles of gates, but they wanted to go with something simple because they were putting a very simple fence together. What we did is we fabricated a nice chain link. Chain links work great for security gates. They're light, they last forever, and they're much, much less in cost when it comes to ornamental iron. And it looks great, and they work great. James was able to fabricate the framing and basically build a gate to fit across 16 feet. A lot of times with gates, especially ornamental iron, it costs a lot more to get them specified for certain feet. So we're able to fabricate that, save them a lot of money with a nice chain link. What we do is we use a FAC opener. So it's one we've been using. It also has a battery backup. And how it works, the arm sits on the gate itself and pulls it. Here's the motor itself. And inside here it's got your backup battery. It's got your automatic opener if something happens. This is an actual call box from Door King. You can remotely open your gate. You can keep it open for a period of time if you're out here working. The really nice thing is to push the call so they can get it inside, where James is actually putting in the phone lines now. These are a fantastic way to go when you don't want to have to worry about getting remote numbers to people. And you can also add certain numbers. If he's got some lawn care people, they'll use that code and he'll be able to track that on his phone so he knows exactly who's entering his, through his gate. They also wanted to make sure that it opened automatically when you exit, so it has an exit loop on it. Sometimes people don't need that. Everything about a security gate is all what you want and what kind of bells and whistles you want on it. And they wanted a nice secure gate, but they didn't want to spend the extra money for an ornamental iron, so we fabricated them a black galvanized gate. And they also wanted a electrical box, which we put up here, a conjunction box for them to have lights to go down here. So it gives them a plug out here so they can use to go down for their lights. This style of fence is very economical, works great, top notch, and will last forever. They'll love it. Another great job. I'm Ron, and this is AJB. They're great customers, fantastic. They moved up here from California. I'd been working with them on some other projects. I mean, I went up there twice before we actually moved forward to kind of sit down with them the second time and say, okay, what do you want from this security gate? What are you concerned about, and how do we go from there? Their goal is it opens, it closes. Right now they don't have a gate, so they didn't want anything in the way. James was a huge, huge help in this in the very beginning, just kind of going over it with me and making sure that everything makes sense. And they were actually very equipped and understood electric or security gates because they had one for so long. So they had specific wants and just scourges and stuff that they had from their other electric gate. They wanted the landline use. They wanted someone to call in the box so they can answer their landline and press the key to open the gate. So that was one thing that we had to do, was wait for Comcast, because we had to work with them, Xfinity, to get the line. And I think training is the biggest part. James does a great job in training. He understands why it doesn't work, why it should work. I mean, so getting it and communicating with somebody who already had experience with their electric security gate was great, because they kind of already knew some of the stuff, what to expect. What they didn't expect was the weather issue and the problems we had with it. Security gates were made for the East Coast, the Sunshine States. You know, it's Northwest. We're going to have all kinds of problems. You know, it's going to freeze, it's going to rain, it's going to have wind. And so these are all the kind of things that can cause electric gates to have their own frailties, just because you're dealing with the elements more than just 75 degrees, 75 degrees, 75 degrees, you know. Yeah, we had some troubleshooting issues in the beginning. One, it would open, wouldn't close. We're telling them, hey, because of windstorms, that eye can get, a leaf can get, you know, for it not to return means there's something blocking that eye. So he went out there and cleared it, and of course it worked. And then he had problems with his remote. He had to stick his finger out the door because he couldn't program his cars, and so we went back and programmed the gate with their cars too. I mean, we troubleshooted all that, and so they could just use their cars. We put a Wi-Fi unit a little bit further down, so that way they wouldn't have to stick their hand out. Overall, his experience met his expectations and exceeding the fact of the issues. So we didn't want issues. We wanted to leave and everything's working fine. But we ran into a couple troubleshooting things that it's not common. This hasn't happened before. So it's a learning thing, but we were on top of it. That was his comfort level, was you reassured me. Yeah, our whole goal was to get a security gate that actually works, right? You know, and we planted the seeds of who we are and what we do, and we're gonna make sure that happens, and yes, we can do this, and yes, we can do that. And so having two things happen, boom, boom, at the end of the day, he said, Ron, you guys are fantastic. That was his last words with Ron. It was fantastic. Thank you for everything. Have a great holiday. So yeah, I just want to say to the Johnsons, thank you. You guys are fantastic customers. I learned a lot from you. Thank you for trusting in us. And we're going to be here for a long time. So you got my business card. Get a hold of me. If you have any questions, you know where to call us. I'm Ron, and this is AJB. Take care.
Yeah, we're a step ahead.
What is she going to do when this foot molds eventually and we have to get rid of it?
I think that's why they put it in this protective baggie.
I mean, maybe that was a vacuum seal bag.
Look, oh, it's not vacuum sealed. It looks like there's a lot of air in it.
Yeah.